Yeah, I'm back here at this mark again. And you know which mark it is? It's the one that I don't ever catch on. Tom caught here last time in the last video here at low water, and he caught a turbot. So yeah, hopefully we'll catch a turbot. There's a few people about on this beach. I will probably be moving to the left. It all depends if it quietens down. But here we are, we're at Sandilands at Sutton on Sea. And yeah, wish me luck. Let's hope we catch something. It is a bit gusty. It's meant to be dying down, but it weren't as meant to be, if you know what I mean, as windy as this. So let's cut for the intro, and I'll bring you back when I'm casting this rod out. See you in a bit. Moving that way because there's some kids over here. They're all having fun. I think they're crabbing around that outfall pipe, but ain't about filming them because they're in a public space and I can film what I like, but I don't want to listen to them. 56 does things to you, do you know what I mean? I don't know how I put up with my own kids, to be honest. I don't mean that, girls. You always like your own. It's just listening to others. You know what I mean, in all joking sort of sense. I say to the missus now, when we had kids, we used to go to the camping and stuff like that, and the amount of campsites, especially in Norfolk, the amount of campsites we used to see, and it'd say adults only, no children, and we'd be like foaming at the bit because we can't get in anywhere. But now we're 56. I think the wife is the same. We both understand. We both understand why some people want to go camping and there's no kids allowed. Some of them are feral. Oh dear. That's great. There's a chap across the way there, he's fishing, and there's another chap there with the two kids, and they got butterfly nets, you remember, like you used to have. And they keep saying, we found one, Dad, we found one. Well, I think they've got a bucket full of crab. Whether it's peeler, I would say it's probably not now, but hardbacks, you can catch on hardback crabs, can't you? So yeah, they're getting the bait, so that's all good. They'll have some top-notch bait over there. I've got squid, I've got the secret bait bluey. Well, put it this way, I'm trying bluey today. That cast, fantastic. It went out plenty far enough. I've got a line measure and I was going to bring it so that we can, on our best cast, we can just reel it in to give us an idea. Now, I'm casting okay at the minute. There is so much power I can't put in because I can't untwist my body to unleash that power to load the rod up at the beginning of the cast. If I would just wish I could plant my feet and wind up a bit more and unleash my body, and then boom. I ain't even doing that bit, am I? But it's better. I certainly cast it out then and didn't feel my hip go, oh God, it's all boom and oh in the air today. But yeah, no, so it's good. I'm getting out plenty far enough to catch a fish, probably too far, but I feel as though we're fishing low water, you need to bang it out. That's the whole idea, so you can get out further to those beds, places where fish are that you can't reach from back there. You got no chance. unless you're Dwayne Lockwood, super champion caster. He couldn't reach out there either. I don't think so. Might do with a plain bomb, put it that way. But yeah, what I'm saying is, it's bloody miles. You can see where I'm back here. Look, it's miles, and then I'm miles out there. So, well, I'm not miles. I'm certainly not to the horizon. But it was a good enough whack, and it certainly went out further than it was when I was fishing with Keith. Oh, I've got Keith with me. Talk more about that in a minute. When we were fishing 6 marshes in the last video, yeah, it was a northeasterly type wind, and it was just killing the weight. You'd see it and it'd go boom. And then as soon as I chucked 25 yards out and I said to Keith, I'm just chucking this full squid, bang, 58 centimetre bass. I was so happy. And I was so happy Keith made us late as well, because we might have packed up earlier, you see. If we'd have caught a fish and it had got to that time in the tide, we might have just said, ah, that's it. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that. But yeah, we're fishing Sandilands. Sutton on Sea is down there. We've got Sandilands golf course. I'm in the middle of it. That's enough of that information. I've got Keith with me. I said to Keith, Keith said about fishing today, and I went, that's going to rain. And then struck the barbecue up, and I just checked the weather, and it was sunny today. It's meant to rain now, but it isn't, is it? 2 o'clock it's meant to rain. There might be a little shower, but nothing major. So I've rung him up straight away and said, do you want to go fishing tomorrow? But it'll be low water, which I want to do more low water fishing. So Keith got to my house on time. He said, I'll be there at 10. I said, no, we're leaving at 11:30. I said, just get there at quarter to 11. And he did. He got there at quarter to 11, just before, eating his sandwich, and loaded the van up. He hasn't forgot his boots. He hasn't forgot his coat. We've got everything. He's even got his bucket. So we've got everything today, because we got here in plenty of time. Now, I got here, and this water, it must be a lower tide than the last time I was at Sandilands, because look, the water is there. Can you see that? Right at the end of the outfall pipe. And I got up the top there and I thought, Jesus Christ. Well, it's 20 to 2 now, and it is the 27th of May. It's the bank holiday Monday. So working tomorrow, but only got 8 hours to do, and then I'm off. So it's plenty more fishing to do. So it's 20 to 2 now. High water is just before 4 o'clock, and I'm out fishing. So we probably could have got here an hour earlier, but I didn't realise this water would be down this far. I thought it would be back here, but perhaps it's going to go out further. Perhaps it's a lower tide today than it was last time I was there at Sandilands. If I had my tide book, I could check, couldn't I? That's it. I've run out of things to talk about. Apart from, if I put the camera this side, more sunlight there for these for this chiseled chin that I've got in it, eh? And I've got updates. Chicken's doing great. So we'll have later on the video, we'll have an update on the chicken. We'll have an update on my diet. I've just dropped the GoPro battery in the wet sand, so I've rescued it, dried it totally, and blown it off, because you have to blow it off. You don't want to keep it wet, and it was getting, because salt this gets sticky as well. So hopefully I've got everything out of the battery connection, but I'm not using it. I'll use that battery when I get home, so it's got plenty of time to dry. And what I'll also do is I'll spray some electrical cleaner in the connections to make sure there's no salt water in there at all, because I can't have that screwing. I fancy dropping a fucking battery, eh? Now, it's all gone quiet. They've stopped hunting for crabs now. They're back on their side. Right. Keith's done a short chuck out. Probably about 30 yard, maybe 25, 30 yard. I've probably chucked it a bit more because his tide's going out, and he needs to move all his gear down now, because since I've been here, look at this, can you see that, how far that's gone? The water was up here. It's going out for another 2 hours. This could go out a long way, and it could be a slow tide as well. So what will happen is, hopefully it'll take a long while to come back in, but as soon as I get halfway up, as soon as I get into that big square, see that great big square, what lump of concrete over there, vent, As soon as we get to there, it's time. I ain't fishing no more. I've put my suntan oil on, I've got my sun hat on, I've got my hoodie on to stop the wind, I've brought my Titan wind smock, I've got my coat in the bag, I've got everything. I am just so organised. Keith's taking his coat off because he's going to get a sweaty Betty. Yeah, everything's good. Bit of a slow drive there. It was a bit of a slow drive here. I couldn't help that. It's just the way it is. Quite a bit of traffic on the roads, that's all. But it was reasonably okay. You got the normal plonkers that have got no idea about road positioning. So every right turn you come to, you're sat there waiting, thinking, shall I mount the path? And yeah, you can't do that all the time, can you? So it is annoying, but it's the way it is, isn't it? You can't educate everybody, can you? Not to be as good as me, anyhow. Quite a few people down there, look. I'm not saying I'm the best driver in the world. I'm just saying that every other driver's based on me, you know. That's where they get out, where to learn how to drive from, watching me. Fantastic. I'm going to this other sand spit here. I am now going to where my Malado Tom was when he caught his turbo. And I'll put this here. And yeah, I shall move everything down. So what I'll do is I'll just put the camera over here. I've just bloody took my box, my barra, and left my box there. I've normally put the box on, but I'm not set up yet, but I will be in a short minute. Are we in camera? Yeah. And that's what you have to do. You have to keep moving down. Keith is a long way back. He's going to have to shift up. Otherwise you get too much line out of the water. We all do it, but it's best to be close to the water. If you're filming, you then got to take in consideration the noise from the waves, but it shouldn't be too loud today. The wind has died a tiny bit. Don't know how long that will. Got my bucket there. So don't know how long that's going to last. Hopefully it is meant to be dying down until we go home. So I've got a bucket of water. Always have a bucket of water, because then if you're unhooking fish, you can let them recover. If you can't get the hook out, you can always then keep putting the fish in the water and having another go until you get it out, because you will get it out. Yeah, and we've got the Daiwa Kenzaki with us, 4 to 7 ounce, and we teamed that up today because I said we're going to use different reels. We've got the Ambassador 6500 C3 CT mag high speed. Nice reels, I really like these. They got a clicker on like the TSR, so that is an improvement. I never thought about it before, but you have got a clicker on it for when you pull off, you can hear the reel. like that, if you get a bite. And when you're rigging your rod up with your rig and pulling your line through the ice, you can put the clicker on and all this don't spool off, you know. It don't with an ordinary green or Magali or a Florida orange. You just have to set the drag so it pulls the line off, and it's not so loose that it then unravels, you know. But with a clicker's always good, because if it's set, you get a fish bite, you can air it, can't you? And everything's good in the world. Put another battery in my pocket, and let's close up this. Do not want to spill any more batteries, and let's get this bloody thing closed up in case it does rain. Now, you got to be careful with these zips on these bags, I'll tell you. Even though I've got a lot in this bag, I find zips are pants. That's just my opinion. The bag is brilliant for me because you've got a big bag that you can put everything in, which my camera gear goes in, and I can get a coat in, my hats, and then I've got 3 pockets, so I have my drugs in one side and so on, suntan oil, I've got ingestion tablets, but I don't really need them now, inhalers. I just have all my medicines in there in 2 pockets. Head torch, suntan oil, spare pair of glasses in the middle pocket, which is the long pocket, and then obviously everything else goes in the main bag. Like I say, the bags are fantastic, it's just a pity about the zips. They always seem to rot. But I bought some zips that you just put on, you can undo the end, put a new zip bit on, and it works fine. And the bags aren't that much money either, they're reasonable, but you know, I don't know why Keith's got that bucket. I keep telling Keith, get a different bucket, anything apart from that one, because all it does, he's carrying it now and water's swishing out of it. It's hard to get water in it, you've got to submerge it into the water. You know, when I bought my Tronics Pro collapsible bucket, I thought to myself, this is a piece of crap, absolute cheap rubbish. It was £7.99 at the time. I think they're 11 or 12 quid now. And I thought, well, I'm going to use it, ain't going to last 2 minutes. Well, that's the same bucket that I bought, and I thought that's rubbish. It concertinas down, so I can put it on my box, put my bait on top and the bungee cord, and I've got my bucket and my bait on top, and then I put my camera bag on the trolley. I then put my camera bag on top of my clothing bag. But that bucket, I had put a hook through it, which was my own fault, but I took it home and got a soldering iron, melted where it was, and it's the same bucket. The only other thing I've done is, and it's not Trigger's Brum, the only other thing I've done is I put 2 metal eyelets in the side because they did corrode and fall out. Now a normal person would have thrown the bucket and bought a new one, but I repaired it, put new eyelets in. I went to Boys and bought the eyelets and stamped them in, you rivet them in. And then what I did was I put you there because of the wind, not my wind, the wind from the sky that's whizzing around the country. I then went and bought another new bucket so that I've got a spare, and I saw it yesterday in my garage. So yeah, I saw it in the garage because I was looking for a tripod so that I can do a video in the garage of some videos. Can't find my tripod. So I'm going to have to buy another tripod at 30 quid because I want the same one. And when I bought that, I'll then find the tripod. I've looked in my both sheds, I've looked in my van, in the house, the wife's looked in the house, I've looked in the van, she's looked in the van, she had a scatter around in the garage. I can't find it. But you can guarantee it, as soon as I buy one, I'll find it, and then I'll have bloody 2, won't I? I'm gonna do I've decided at long last that I'm gonna do a modification on my box, fishing box, and when I do it, I'm gonna film it and stick it up. Only be a short video. Right, I'm gonna take some painkillers, sort my carry box out with my stuff in, so that I can keep following this out, because I think we got a long way to go yet. I'll see you in a bit. Right, let's get this reeled in. I am. Oh. It is windy. Tide is going out. I'm going to have to move back down there. But I've been talking to a chap called Paul Marshall, nice bloke, and he's got nothing but kind words for you, John Spolton. I need to slacken them weights off. I tightened them up, but I need to slacken them off because it didn't pop out. It was hard work pulling it up on the sand. But what I'm going to do is I'll move down towards the water's edge and then cast out. Yeah, just been chatting for quite a while, me, Keith and Paul, and it's nice talking to a proper fisherman of many years, and you learn a bit, don't you? And it's just nice having a chin wag, isn't it? But I'll give you an update on that in a sec. Let's get this there like that. Get that on there. What? Well, if it's a peeler, it ain't moving, is it? They just sit there. Right, let's get this done. I don't know what these hooks are, but they're bloody good hooks for the top of the bait. I can't get them anymore because I've been blocked at the shop. I don't know why they blocked me, I really don't, but I've been blocked at the shop. Anyhow, they're always going in my flipping fingers, they're sharp as hell. And I can't get any more. God. Well, who cares, I'll just get something similar. Anyhow, let's get this casted out. Bloody beautiful clouds there, isn't there? that is another good cast. I don't know how far it went. It's gone over 100 yards, put it that way. And yeah, that's up there. That's up there with a good cast for me. I've got on there 0.3 of a millimetre. Now guys, yeah, we can all put on 0.4 or 0.45, can't we? Cast out and empty your spill, but I've got 0.3 on there, and I can guarantee you, you'd never empty that spool on this reel. Never. That there, that for me is a bloody good cast. That's filled to the top as well. Yeah, I used to put that on my fathoms and I could never get past that second gold ring on the spill. But as soon as you put 0.35 on, you can get past it. It's the way it is. There's no point kidding yourself. But yeah, that is a good cast for me, that. And I'm not tired yet, so that's probably why. I've got bait still on this, but please don't go in my finger anymore. How come everywhere I go somebody knows Mr. Spalton? I now feel totally privileged to know Mr. Spalton. Right, now Keith has given me a crab. So that might be the next bait. So I'm going to get baited up, and what I'll do is I've got to go get my gear and my seat because I need to sit down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to didn't see where Paul just casted to. It's always nice where you see other people cast to, because it gives you an idea where to cast and stuff like that. But yeah, anyhow, it was nice seeing you, Paul. Pity there weren't any crabs there. Yeah, apparently I thought the bloke and the two children was with the chap fishing, but they weren't. That was a dad and two kids, and what they've done is they've gone all the way around the outfall pipe and got every crab to eat. Why do you want to eat green or I know them as green crab or something else? Why do you want to eat that shit? Why don't you just let them live, grow, lay eggs, peel, and then people for bait get them? But yeah, fancy going there. Yeah, not good. I don't think it's good anyhow. I think it's shite. But they're there for everyone. If I don't, it don't matter where they come from in Europe, does it? If they like crabs, they like crabs. Me personally, I'd eat, coming from Norfolk, a same place, yeah, I would eat an edible crab or a brown crab, because when you crack the boat open and eat that meat out of the boat with salt, pepper and vinegar in it, it's scrummy with a nice bit of crusty bread, and then pick the claws and the legs clean and the body, lovely. But green crabs, edible crabs, shore crabs, whatever you want to call them, I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless you put them in soup. Nah, not for me. But it is for some people, isn't it? So yeah, anyhow, them kids are gone now. It's all lovely and quiet here now. And please don't get me wrong. Don't think that I dislike nah, that just don't sound right, does it? But I've had my children, and I've gone through the punishment you get with kids. Enjoy them while you can. If you're a parent, that don't even sound right, is it? You can't say nothing nowadays, can you, without it not sound right? But then again, that's going down freedom of speech again. I ain't going to go on about that today, because today I'm feeling happy. For those out there that like the rants, well, the rants will come when I've got something to rant about. But at the minute, just have to cut me some slack, because I'm happy, and if I'm happy, that's a good thing to be, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good place to be, isn't it? Got to try and refrain from talking about politics, because I've come to realise that's all I talk about, and it's not about the channel. It's probably more to do with the fact I could get my channel shut down, and I don't want that to happen. But there, you know, all you need to know. No. All I think is the old adage, is the left and right are the same arse cheek, aren't they? There's nothing you can do about it. What you need me as your ruler, because I'll sort it out. I won't be popular though. Oh dear. Oh, I've got more. I'll tell you what. Update on the chicken. The chicken is doing okay. The grass is growing in her pen. She can hide in it now. It's like she's gone through the jungle. So that's all good. We're going to trim it down. I'm going to hoe up some of the soil so that she can scrat around and look for bugs. She's not really eating. I'm chucking corn in there, putting tins of sweet corn in there and pellets. She's not eating it, but she ain't losing weight either. And me and the wife have come to realise that her chicken pen, which is our whole side garden, must be full of creepy crawly insects, because you see them in the back garden, you see them on our patio crawling around everywhere. So there must be loads in there sheltering and stuff, and she must just be now eating naturally, like you see the chickens that are out on the side of the road when you go past the farm, and they're just foraging about. You know, they're getting proper food, so we're not too worried anymore that she ain't eating. And I'm chucking the food in and she ain't eating it, because last night she got a bath, so it's her second bath this year, and she needed this one because I saw some poo had congregated around her back end. Why it happens in summer and not winter, I don't know, but we got her in the hot warm bucket of Dettol, and the wife held her wings once I got her in there, and then I was underneath with rubber gloves on cleaning all the shite off her feathers. And she's out today all prim and proper, looking $1 million, and when them flies eventually come, hopefully we won't have the same problem as last year. So we need to clean her every week, I think, or week and a half, because it was 3 weeks ago I last cleaned her. And I spotted her yesterday and thought she needs washing, so we did her last night. We're going to do more of the same. So chicken's doing fine, and we're sort of like preempting her not getting bloody any Tacpa green bottles. So hopefully everything will be alright this year. And she's going strong. The cat is still in with the chicken. The cat sleeps in the chicken hutch virtually every night. He comes in smelling the sawdust. He's doing me head in, but we're just leaving it. So the cat's best mate is my cat Gizzy. More on updates shortly. I will update you on my diet, and what else was I going to update you on? It'll come back to me, because it just sort of like came on like a light bulb. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm sure casters, oh yeah, I've got it. Anyhow, casters, fish and whales, I will tell you about my diet, because you're giving me a complex, mate. Complex. I don't like it. Fancy calling one of your buddies Chubs, eh? What a thing, eh? Lucky, yeah. Chubs. I'm like a model. I'm like an athlete playing darts. See you in a bit. Look how far the water's gone out. It's keeps moving down yet again. But yeah, that's where we come on. That's where Keith is now moving to. I'm fishing there, and the water's now there. And I'm having a bit of food because I'm hungry, and the wife made me chicken paste, that's not the best. I know paste isn't great, but when you come from an area like me, you're used to eating this sort of shit. And yeah, it's diet food for fishing today. I'll put you on my rods. I don't even know if you can see them. Yeah. I need to put a new battery in a minute. Plenty of salt and pepper on it, but then I have that on everything. But it is tasty. It's reeled in. Not seen anything bite it. Just want to reel it in. The clay beds I've just hit. Heavy, but I think it's just the bait floor. Must be a bit of tide out there because this rig's twizzled up a bit. Bait is still on, but no fish, but then I didn't see a bite anyhow. So right, same bait again. Little bit of crab on it, but we'll get this casted out, and then the next bait on the next one, I'm going to probably put a full squid on, because you never know, do you? So let's get down there. And matter of fact, let's I need to be getting out. Let's move this down. Never pulled the foot out on my rod rest, so yeah, it didn't collapse, but that can happen, so stop rushing. Right, let's get this here and get this casted out. Check where we are. Are we in frame, Vernon? Of course we're in frame. Is it filming, Vernon? Yeah, of course it's filming. Right. Off the ground cast with a bad hip. This is how you do it. started twirling in the air, so it lost a bit of distance, but still went a long way. So not my furthest cast, but then it was oscillating, but it was a big bit of bluey bait. So clicker on, always put your clicker on. The one thing with these abus on these clickers I've noticed, compared to the pen you just put the clicker on, the clicker's on. These ones you have to engage it, so you'll put it on, think you've got it on, it isn't on. So then you have to move the spool a bit with the handle, and then it'll click in, and then it's on clicker. You don't want to lose your rod, do you? Right, so that's the last bluey bait. I'm going to chop this old bit of bluey off here, which is here. And what I'm going to do is put a squid on it. So, see you in a bit. Here's the man himself, look. The man in his own lunchtime. Legend, Keith Cod. What you got to say, Keith?
Not a lot, not a lot.
Oh, right, you're a bit subdued then, mate.
I am very subdued today.
What are you subdued for?
Why? I had one bite and I missed it.
Well, you're not doing something right, are you?
He was coming across and he saw you on that, saw you on your thing, and he threw his fish back in. I think in a small school is coming to show you.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and then he got to about there and he threw it back in.
Yeah, I saw him walking over.
Yeah.
But I was in casting, wasn't I?
Yeah.
So, see that cast?
Good.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Have a look at my reel, see how much line I've got left on mine. I cast as far as you.
Yeah, but no, you ain't casting as far as me. Keith, just not go there until I get the line measure, because you ain't. Have you been casting the same distance all day?
No.
No.
That's my best cast I've done today.
Well done. I'm pleased for you.
I've only got a little bit on my spool left. Like
yeah,
that.
I'm sure you have.
No, about 8
Yeah,
scans.
I know which reel you got. Which reel you got. You done off the ground cast yet?
That's what I just did.
Oh, right.
That's what
First one today then, is it?
First off ground, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been watching you.
I done another thumps and then I just done a off the ground with that one.
0.3mm line, that is.
Nice line.
Yeah, so you don't get so much come off your reel. What?
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, you will put that on your fixed build, and then you'll get more line on, won't you?
Yeah, try that.
You know, when you're casting and you're going to hit fucking Holland, mate, you're going to have to get some smaller line, aren't you? Eh?
Yeah.
Right. What I would say is it's going to be like this all day.
It's alright, I should have brought some sun cream with me.
I ain't on about that, I'm on about fish.
Oh, right.
Black off.
Oh,
this is the Bogey Beach.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
What are they doing?
Last week, didn't they? Digging bait.
They're pumping, aren't they?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be pumping where the water is,
yeah,
and not on the dry bit? Or do they know what they're doing?
Probably know what they're doing, just where the casts are. Like here.
Yeah, not many, is there?
No. There's very, very few and far between.
Yeah. And they'll only be small as well.
Very few around here.
But whatever.
They're all small.
Yeah, but whatever bait pumping I see, look at this, that's only a small worm cast.
Yeah.
But what I see with bait pumping is if they're a small little cast like that, it's going to be a small worm. What's the point of taking it?
Not worth taking, yeah.
Mind you don't know what they're doing. They might be doing that one. But anyhow,
Might be, but
we're struggling. We ain't caught yet, have we, Keith?
No, not yet.
Keith's outcasting me yet again. You just can't. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I just wish my hip was better. I really do, because then I'd be able to put some graunch in it. But
yes, it's. Tell you what,
we're getting out far enough to catch fish, mate.
My back's burning with the sun on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's burning.
Nothing to do with all these coats.
No, the heat through the jacket. Just
well,
cool
these rod tips are static,
they're
mate.
Digging it. They're not bait pumping these.
No, the other bloke is.
Yeah.
As long as he's back full of the holes, it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, he's back filling now.
Is he?
Yeah.
You don't see that very often, do you? But it is a flat beach. A lot of people walk on it, so you'd expect them to, and they are, aren't they? So.
Well, look how much left lines left on my.
Look at this beach. Look at the size of that beach at low water. It is hummusif, isn't it? Here's the bait digger. and he's actually filling his holes as well, so he's a proper one. And the bloke who's in front, he's got a bait pump. That's where Keith is blanking. Right there.
Where are you blanking, mate?
Well, I'm blanking here, yeah. I'm blanking here, mate, but you know, I've come here to blank. This is my blanking mark. Paul's over there, Spolt, your mate, and the tide is still going out, so see you in a bit. I've just been talking to Paul again, and now it's low water, so I'm going to reel this in, get the squid bait on. Paul's just given me some lugworm, which I'm going to share with Keith, and yeah, let's see what we do. Let's get this reeled in. Just checking it's filming. I'm not staring into the camera. Right, let's get this cast out. We'll whack this one out again, then I'll get one baited up with some lugworm on it and chuck it out short, because you know what happens. You cast out short, you catch fish. Cast out long, you're wasting your time. Another cracking cast, gotta be 100 metres at least. At least. That's gotta be probably the furthest one. And didn't feel no pain in my hip either. Did put my feet a bit further apart, like Paul said. Paul said to me, can you get your feet further apart? And I was like, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty comfortable like that. But I just did it. I think I just had my feet further apart then. Let's see. Yeah, I think I did. There's my foot there. So my foot was there. And that one, no, it was there. Oh, I don't know. Anyhow, my feet were somewhere there. But I physically tried to put my foot further apart and to give myself a stabler base, which felt weird, because if I put my legs too far apart, it hurts my groin. Not my groin where my dinky is, but in the side of your left, where your part of your hip is. And I hit that one, and a little bit off balance. I was definitely a little bit off balance, and yeah, but the cast went well, went straight. All my casts seem to go straight these days. Get a fugu left, let's not pretend we don't, but yeah, it's good. Keith is on his box, on his phone, as you do. He's obviously got a signal and I haven't. Vodafone, can't get a signal there with it. Mind you, there's other places I can't get a signal with it, but I stick with Vodafone because I've been with them for ages. Anyhow, we are with a full squid out there. I'm going to put some lug on next, because I've got some lug. Crab, I've got a crab, another crab. I think I've got another one in there. I'm going to chuck it in there and check it. And yeah, but we are at low water now. I don't feel as I've filmed much, but I'm sure I have. But Keith come across, then Paul come across. I can't remember his last, Marshall, I think, Paul Marshall. Keith will know. Anyhow, when we leave here, so as of yet we ain't caught anything, which is a bit of a shame, but it's not what it's about. It's about being here in this environment and doing what you enjoy. And I don't particularly like making sandcastles anymore. I don't particularly get the chance because the wife's at having a bit of a raucous on the beach either. Those days are well and truly gone. Yeah, I guess he's caught a fish. And do you know what? Big heads shouting off like little children do your head in. Do you know what I mean? Hey Keith! Keith, perhaps I need to chuck out 20 yards as well. Yeah, it was your weight stuck in the sand. We'll have to listen to that all the way home now. Don't count unless it's on the beach. Mind you, you see, I bet you there's nothing on that. He wants to catch a fish because the last time we fished together, which was last week, yeah, you know, remember when he was late? He weren't late this week, he was there bloody well in time. But yeah, he obviously don't want me to catch on the last cast again, does he? Oh, we had a nice session that day. What was I talking about before? I guess it don't matter, do it? Oh yeah, right, so then, diet. Let's have a quick update on the diet. The diet's going quite well. I weighed myself and I have lost weight. Now, I was in a state of more undressed than I was last week when I weighed myself, if you know what I mean. But even taking that into consideration, last week I weighed 88.7 kilos and this week I weigh 87.6 kilos. So I don't think a pair of trousers weigh 2 kilos, a kilo, does it? But it will weigh something. So I'm happy with that. Whether it's half a pound or a pound, I've lost weight. So next week I will weigh myself in the same state of dress as I did this week. And if I'm the same, if I'm the... All right, mate. Interrupted me, cheeky bugger, isn't he, Julie? Do you have a word with him, will you, Julie? Anyhow, I will weigh myself in the same state of dress and I'll know if I've lost more weight or I'm stayed the same. Either is good with me. But I diet throughout the day, as in I'm eating food, but normally fruit, or I'll have a cup of soup or a tin of soup, but normally it's just bananas, apples and so on. And I sometimes have cornflakes, but only, well, I have a huge bowl of cornflakes really. But whatever I'm doing, it's working. A lot of what I am doing is I've stopped eating all the stuff after tea. You know, the stuff you keep going raiding the fridge and the cupboards for. Anyhow, these rods aren't moving. We ain't had any bites. I very much doubt if Keith's had a bite. And Paul's gone them because there's nothing there apart from whiting. I ain't even catching them. But you got to be here to give it a go. And like I say, it's an absolute beautiful day. Look at that up there. Look at them clouds and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, my rods are there and I'm looking at all of this. Absolutely fantastic. But that's only my opinion. And like I say, I can only rant if I've got a rant in me. And today I'm happy. You should be pleased that Verns is happy, because then that way it means I'm happy. So that's an update on the chicken, update on my diet, and yeah, I've got another update to do. Keeps doing off the ground cast. Right. That was half a distance of mine, and he's going to get told off because he chopped it. Some people call it chopping it, but what it actually is Keith then set up for off the ground, but he did another red thump with it. But never mind. Casting, learning to cast, changing your cast is very hard. You've only got to look back at my videos. I understand everything about my cast now, how to do it, but now it's a shame really, because now I'm at the point of where my body doesn't allow me to do it. So it's a shame, but it's where I'm at. But I'm still enjoying my fishing, watching this rod tip not move, and hopefully we shall bag a fish. I'm going to get this bait, this other rig baited up ready, but we will be moving back from now on as the tide is now coming in. What was I saying about them hooks a minute ago? Yeah, them hooks. Them top hooks on the pennel, this bastard. See that hook? They seem to catch everything apart from a f***ing fish. So it's just now gone in my arm and my sleeve. Now I ain't bothered about it. I'm not bothered about it. But I just had to yank it out. I couldn't get it out. I had to shout Keith over. Otherwise I'd had to get my scissors out to cut my top to get it off. They just catch everything. If you're a meter past that f***ing hook, yeah, it'll just grab you. But will it catch a fish? No, it won't catch a fish, will it? I don't know what these hooks are, but you don't need a circle. You don't need some bloody chino. You don't need whatever it is. You need that hook, because that hook, I don't even like using them. I've had it in my finger twice. I've had to pull it out past the barb in my thumb. They're just, oh yeah, they're great for catching people, humans, vermin, and whatever else. Doesn't seem to catch fish though. It's another hole in my top. I've only had this top 4, 5, 6 years. You know, I haven't seen the best use out of this top yet, and I've now got a flipping hole in it again, a little tag end. Gonna have to get a needle in that and pull it through. Well, I put a line in that sand. It's gone. That tide's coming in. So it's a case of, it's now moving back time. I can't believe them flipping hooks. Next cast, I'm going to cast out short. And we're going to the chippy tonight. Because tea times, I can eat what I want for my tea because I diet through the day. That's what I do. Let's take this back. I can stand for a bit and then I'll have to come back for a sit down. So annoying when things go wrong and you can't do. I was watching, I was getting frustrated because as I was tied to that, the water was coming in round my camera, near my camera. There you go. Everything's all right now in the life of Vern. Everything's rosy. I'm not catching any fish though. That's the bugbear. I've got blow lug going out next, and it's going to be a short cast because if you whack it, what happens to them? They hit the water, they fall off, and you're fishing with no bait. So that's what I find anyhow. Blowlug, I suppose yellowtails probably be the same. They're very soft bait, aren't they? And things just go wrong, don't they? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to chuck it out short. We've had a seal. Literally, I was having a wee in the water down there, and whilst I was doing that, blessing the water, hopefully bringing myself some luck, so I was doing an offering, and what pops its head up, probably 15 yards in front of me, but a seal, baby seal. He weren't happy, I'll tell you. What the you think you're doing, mate? I've got to drink this water. Bless him. Mind you, I reckon that what I've just put in that sea is a lot better than what's been going in the sea down in Devon. Well, that ain't been going in the sea, around the country, innit? I can't believe these hooks. I don't know what they are. They're a semicircle, aren't they, or whatever. The eyes kick back. It's perfect for a for the pennel hook. But they are absolutely razor sharp, and I've used them hooks on there. I've used them for what? Well, probably for 3 or 4 sessions, definitely 2, and they're still razor sharp. You don't want it in you. I thought size 6 and size 4 hooks were the worst, because they just seem to get stuck in you all the time. But that thing, it's a nightmare. It catches it. If it's there, it'll catch it. But it ain't caught me a fish yet. It caught me that bass in the last session though. So God, what are we doing? We're at low water, fishing low water at Sandilands, and it's not looking good, is it? I'm doing my best. I am trying to fish. Oh yeah, what's the other update? I'll tell you what the other update is. Yeah, we've got a hater. Yeah, we have. Oh, got this comment, I can't even remember what it was, but yeah, we got a hater, and he put 2 comments on the video. He did. Unbelievable, eh? I do like having a hater. I can't remember what I said first time. I think it was like, well, jog on then, mate. Watch something else. Very polite, because you can't be nasty, can you? Next comment though was a bit sarcastic. So yeah, something along the lines of, because his name's Lone Wolf. Well, he must be a bit of a loner with a friend called Keyboard in his room. That's what I said to him. Because normally wolves are in packs, aren't they? They're a pack animal, so they've got lots of friends, aren't they? But this one's a bit of a loner. But yeah, why do they do it? You just can't work it out, can you? Perhaps he's reaching out, perhaps he wants to be my friend. I mean, I've got enough friends. I've got Keith and John and Andrew Jones and Jimmy, and I've got plenty of friends. Don't need any more. Especially those wearing armour in front of the keyboard. So yeah, now we're all up to date, aren't we, up to now? Pretty much up to date. I do worry when this water comes in, you know. It's like, ooh, it's not as if it's going to come around behind me. I'm going to move my rod back, because I was going to move it back a minute ago when I remembered the news about the keyboard warrior. Do you know what? I reckon I might get the comment up and read it. Now I ain't going to bother, because I can't be asked. You know, I ain't even checked if he's answered. If he's answered back to my reply, then in the next video we'll have an update on Loney Boy. Yeah, the line has moved. It's moved to the other side now. I'm going to get my box off here. put everything down there so it's all right, and then I'm gonna put my flask away. I think I've had enough coffee. I might have a coffee back at the van, finish that off, put it all in my box to make it easy, so I can chuck my box on my trolley, chuck my bag on top, and then just move back. But yeah, line has now moved from left to right, but the next cast is going to be out short. Tide's coming in, the bass might come in now. They might think, mightn't they? I haven't done many shots, but shots as in, I mean recordings. That was on 6. I thought I'd done more than that, but I've been chatting a lot, not only to you, but I chat to others as well, you know. Look at that, I can't get over. Well, there's old Keith Cod down there. There he is, look, that's Keith Cod. Yeah, absolutely expansive beach. But that sky up there, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? I think so anyhow. I love the sky. I think it's... But there's pictures everywhere, isn't there? And then we come back to this static rod top. So I'm gonna have to change this battery. It's the second battery, so I must have done some filming. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, I'm still watching this rod, nothing's happening. I've only just moved back. I've only just finished talking to you, so we're in relation. I've come back pretty much as soon as you blinked your eye. Not quite though. Yeah, I just don't... It's hard there. Seems hard. Paul that was there caught 3 whiting. Well, I ain't seen a whiting for ages, so there can't be much here if Paul's catching whiting and I ain't even seen one. But then he's a better fisherman than me. But yeah, I can't believe, I'm not worrying about it, but this is now the 8th time I've switched this camera on. But I have used over an hour's worth of footage and 2 batteries. So what I must have, it does my head in when I look at my GoPro. I did it in a few weeks back, and also I did it in the Lake District when I was mullet fishing. I'd been filming and filming, and I looked at my how many times I'd switched the camera on. I think I was on 5 or 6 then, but I'd forgotten that I left the camera on rolling, yapping a lot. I'm sure I've casted out more than that. I've had 3 bluey baits, I've had a squid bait, you know, 4 or 5 years, about right. Baits are coming back intact up until this point. So baits are coming back not stripped, still got bait on, still looks in reasonable condition. But the next one I'm putting lug on. And that's just going to be a short chuck out just where them waves are breaking, behind them. It's a bit shallow. I would say the weight will impound into the sand and get dug in, so it'll take a good yank to get it out. But what else have I got to do on this beach apart from yank it out? So that's what I'm going to have to do. Give it a good tug, start reeling into it until it explodes out of the sand, because then the sand actually washes over. It actually washes over, so it then buries the weight in as well. There's people on there trying to train the dogs, calling them to one another. Everyone's having fun on the beach. The people are still bait digging down there. But yeah, it's a nice day to be on the beach. You're not going to catch on your sofa, are you, watching telly? Although sometimes it might be more exciting watching the telly. Depends what you're watching, really. Now, if it's Verns fishing, I can expect you to all sit on your sofa watching me. Oh, bless. I'd like to thank everyone that do sit on the sofa watching Verns fishing, because it keeps me going. Yeah. You see, this old Norfolk boy, I still, well, of course I can believe it because it happens, but it still seems strange is the right word now. Back in the day it was, I can't believe it, but now it just, yeah, I don't know what the words are really, without dramatising the fact, you know, like, But yeah, everyone that watches me sat on this beach in a few weeks' time on a Wednesday at 7 or thereafter, yeah, just thanks a lot, because when I watch it back I do chuckle at parts. I mean, there's some people, there's some haters out there that don't, you know. Yeah, no, thanks to everyone that watches. It's you're helping the channel out with the comments and thumbs up and the view. It all helps the algorithm, and YouTube might push me out a little bit more, but yeah, it's all good. It would be nice to catch. I don't want blank air again, you see. I do not want a blank air again, because this water's coming in, look. See that? So yeah, just got to keep moving back. But there does get a point on this beach where you then say enough's enough, and because you could stay here the whole time, fish it up to high water even, and yeah, fish it over high water, and you could still blank, couldn't you? And then you'd be here for hours and hours and hours. You ain't caught over this part of low water and coming up a bit, then you ain't gonna catch, are you? I'm gonna have to bring that squid in shortly and stick the lugworm on, because I might have a chance with that. Oh dear. Oh, 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 oh. Don't tell me I've got something on there. Tighten the drag up, we'll see. Need to tighten it up, hang on. Right, let's watch that bite and see if anything happened. Well, it ain't a bite. Something's just happened. I think it's just that I backed the reel off and then Tide Motor took the line. So what I've done is I've tightened this drag up, reeled it in tight so it's onto the rod, and then I've backed it off to set the drag again. But yeah, this tide comes in, certainly does come in quick. But you'd expect it to, really, wouldn't you? So I'm going to take that to there, put my bag down again. The rig wallet can go back in it. Yeah, let's put this basket over here. Put that off. Oh, it'd be nice to catch a fish here, just to sort of like say I've caught a fish here, do you know what I mean? I think the last time I caught a fish here would have been probably two odd years ago. Didn't catch last time. Blank with Keith, didn't I? I've been here with Keith and I've been here with Tom. Blank both times. there's time yet, because there's always that last reel in, isn't there, that I normally pull a fish out. But I think, I can't say for definite, but I would say the last time I caught air was when I was fishing. I seem to remember I had my icons or something, and I was fishing with my green magalites, I think, or another Abu reel. Now it was my green magalites, because one of the Verns was seizing up and I was struggling with the and that was when I then started stripping them down. I stripped them down before, but I started stripping them reels down and servicing them, and then I started buying more and servicing them. So yeah, and I caught dabs that day, and that was a long while ago. I had a subscriber come up to me on that day. I was feeling right down the dumps, and they came over and had a chat with me, and then obviously when they left I was in a happier place. But yeah, things weren't going right, everything was going wrong, but we'll keep walking back and we'll see what we catch. See you in a bit. Right, let's get this reeled in. I shouldn't really reel it in, it hasn't been out that long, but the water's coming in that quick now that if I don't reel that in, I'm soon going to be packing up. I've got until that square block. When I get to there, I'm going to put everything down and exit the beach. So I've got some blow lug that Paul gave me, so I want to try that out, but I might have to move this rod back actually, because by the time I've reeled in, I would say that the water will be behind my tripod, and then the sand gets soft and sinky, and I don't want that. So I'll bring this up there, I'll reel it in, and then come back here to bait up. That's what I'll do, and cast out up here. So I'll stick you here. It's bloody heavy. It's heavy. Gone light now. It's just gone light. It was heavy as hell. I've got Mayra on it. Leave it! Keith!
Doggy!
Yeah, leave it. Watch my line, mate. A salute round.
Yeah.
I've got that much weed on. I'm going to have to
I know, mine's all weeded up.
take that rod, will you? Just take the rod.
I've got it for you, mate.
Let me just get this. I like touching my own fish. Beautiful eye. Well, we're caught. Would you help me, Keith? I've got to watch this bloody hook, ain't I? No. No. That's it.
You got it.
Right. Let me just stick that in my bucket. Watch his line. Wait a minute. Wait a sec, drop that line.
Right, watch it, yeah.
Hold on.
He's getting weed off for you.
Yeah. I'm just going to catch it, mate. Oh. Well, you know what that means, Keith, don't you? I am blanked there.
I thought you had a bastard where you were going.
Right, I'm going to have to sort this line out because I've got the tide coming in. It's all gone tit-tong. We've got May rotting or some sort of weed. So I've got to get that off. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Keith's helping me out. So, hey Keith, don't like anyone touching me fish. I like to be the first one, that's all.
You're right, mate, no problem there.
What a load of hecticness that was. Right, let's get this out. I've lost valuable fishing time. Bloody hell, it's been a bit hectic. Let's get this moved back, move my rod back. I haven't even just got the fish. The water's up to my tripod already. I've been untangling and all sorts. It's a nightmare. But we caught a fish, haven't we? We've beat the blank at Sandilands. So let's move the bucket before it gets washed away with my fish. He's in this bucket of water. Water's nice and fresh. Trouble is, there's a couple of crab in here, and I think he might have munched on them. Time will tell. But if he has, hasn't he? With a bit of direction, Keith helped me. And that is my first dogfish of the season. So I'm right chuffed about that. What a beautiful colour, beautiful mountains as well. And yeah. And it's a boy because he's got testicles. You see these things there people call clasters? I think that's his bollocks, but there you go. He's got teeth. Come here, look at that. Can you see that? His mouth open. Looks to me like it's got teeth, is it?
Yeah, they've got teeth.
What, even dogfish?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just bullets.
Don't put your
Ain't
fingers
a
in.
bullet, ain't because he's got his nose.
No, yeah. Don't put your fingers in.
So first dogfish of the season, I'm chuffed to bits, let's go get it back. And you know what they're like for going back? Pain in the backside.
Direct.
Hey! couldn't outrun that water, mate.
What are you going to go in?
If I was at Morecambe Bay and that tide come in, I'd just say, weigh me down with some cockles. I'm chuffed about that. I had to give a little bit of encouragement to Keith, didn't I, mate? And Keith helped me out because I had that much weed. I don't know if it was May rot, it was just like slimy green weed.
Slimy green, yeah.
But it had buggered up everything.
Mine was covered in it.
So, Keith's covered in it, I'm covered in it. So, yeah, I had to walk all the way back to get it out. And then I don't like anyone touching me fish, do I, mate?
No.
And I'm quite particular that it's my fish and I've got to be first to touch it. I don't mind other people touching it after I've touched it, Keith. You could have give it a little rub if you wanted to after.
Nah, you're alright, mate.
You know how to rub it?
I've had enough of them.
I don't think... Ooh, hey. But yeah, after I've touched it, I don't mind other people touching it. And then I had to just cut my line. Keith helped me with the weed. Camera was getting close to the water. It was all up in the air at one point. I thought my life was going to end. But we got there in the end, mate, didn't we?
Oh, too right.
And you know what this means, don't you? Last week, I caught a bass at the end, didn't I?
Yeah.
And you blanked.
Yeah.
And we're near the end, and I've caught a dogfish. I hope you catch, mate.
I had one on, but it lost it, shook its head off.
Well, I just chucked that short and then blow lug on, and I chucked it just over the back of where the waves are a bit catching. Hopefully, you never know, there might be something else, and we've got some dark clouds.
Yeah. We'll
Don't
see.
end up getting wet on the way back to the van, do we?
Not really.
This bloody water, it comes in, doesn't it?
Did you see the wind on my rod when I had that fish on?
No, I didn't, mate, no. I thought you was taking the mick.
No.
No?
No.
Sure it weren't your weight digging in the ground?
No, it was shaking.
That felt heavy,
Shaking.
and then it went light, and I thought, oh shit, it was the weight in the
And
sand.
you can feel it let go, you can feel it just...
Anyhow, dogfish has gone back. Normally you'll see them flapping around on the bottom, but he's gone. I walked out far enough and then chucked it in, so it was in a good bit of water. They do get disorientated, so it's always good to walk in a bit and hull it, but only walk in if it's safe to do so. Why do we have to say crap like that? Because who's going to walk it?
Health and safety.
What's happened to intelligence over the years, mate? Because in the 70s we were full of intelligence, in the 80s, but now we have to have people telling us stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
And they're the morons, aren't they? Morons, that's what they are. Anyhow, you just walk in the water a bit if you want to, if you think it's safe. Do a risk assessment and then give it a hull over the last wave, and then it'll go back. This has gone back, it's not here, look. So, first dogfish of the year. I'm chuffed to bits.
Is that your first?
This year, yeah.
You've only got about 3 of them, you know, I think.
Oh, mate, well, I ain't as good as you, am I? What's that down there? That's a kite, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah, a Chinese kite.
That's a big one, isn't it? Cool, big ones. Give it a tug. Did you want to touch it?
No, you're alright.
It's all happening here in Verns Sea fishing at Sandilands, isn't it, mate?
It is, mate.
But I can guarantee you I ain't touched his, and I can guarantee you, what have you done? You
I do fuck all. Well,
no, that's not it. You see, I was doing a play then on Ronnie Barker's, and it's good night from me, and it's good night from him.
Yeah, from you.
So you're meant to say, yeah, and I ain't touched his either. Say it, because people think we've been touching lallipas. Come on, say it.
Yeah, good day from me, because I ain't caught no.
No, we're talking. I ain't touched yours, and you ain't touched mine.
Yeah.
Can't leave it on a cliff edge like that, because people think we've been touching stuff. Anyhow, look at this water. Mate, I might do a beeline for over there on that.
That's a long kite.
That is a long kite. Don't talk stuff like that. Yeah, the kite, yeah. I know I went for a piddle earlier on, but you couldn't see nothing. I didn't want to get you embarrassed, mate, do you know what I mean? So I kept it hidden. I need to get up there. I'm chuffed to bits. I've actually caught fish. I often catch fish.
Whoa, mine's underwater.
What? Get over there quick, mate. Time you get there, I won't be halfway. Yeah, thank you, Keith, for assisting me in with my line all covered in weed. Yeah, it was appreciated, and no blank for me. Chuffed really, because that is my first dogfish this year. With fishing in the river so long, you don't really get much chance for dogfish, and since I've been fishing these beaches, I've had 3 hounds ages ago now. That was in the first week of May or something, was it? Yeah, it was before my birthday, weren't it? So yeah, I've had 3 hounds, I've had a bass, what else have I had? I had a blank air and a dogfish. So yeah, it's not bad, is it? I'm chuffed. And yeah, these grey clouds coming now, look, covering the sky, and the sun, more importantly. It's not cold, but yeah, I'm gonna bring this rod in. As a matter of fact, watch what a cripple has to do. Now, I never saw that bite for that dogfish, but I'll tell you when it probably was. When I moved my rod, yeah, my reel clicked off, didn't it? After I moved it and put it down, my reel clicked off and I tightened into it, and I would say it bit then. But because my drag was so loose, I obviously didn't see the bite, did I? I weren't looking either, because I was talking to you, I think. So I would say that was when the bite was, and if it weren't, it weren't, but I would say it was. And the main thing about that is I caught a dogfish, and yeah, I could catch 10 of them, if not 20, and I still wouldn't be bothered, because a fish is a fish. It's a beautiful looking fish, and it's worth its weight in gold. It saved me a blank. That's the main thing. And put that over there. Got to sort this out. I've got a plan. I have got a plan and a job to do on this box. Oh, I need to sit down. Oh, I've probably only got 5 minutes. I'll have to move everything back again. It's getting to the point now where we ain't going to be fishing for much longer. It will be end of days. Oh, sake. Fancy using that word, eh? Kept my trousers clean all day. I've just opened up the can of Coke Keith brought me, and it's frothed up all over my leg. So now I've got a wet, sticky leg. So now I'm going to have to go back to the van and have a strip wash. I'm going to have to take my trousers off and get the wipes out and give my leg a wipe. Anyhow, Tom, you might have to bleep that word, because that was a naughty word. Probably my favourite word, if you ask the wife. I certainly say it enough. But there are still people out there that find it offensive. So I do apologise, but there should be a bleep there. (13 minutes 26) we're in, and I've just said it. Fancy that frothing up. Fell off my box, didn't it? That'd be it. I don't think Keith would go like that with it all the way here. I think he put it on my box and surprised me with it. So thank you very much, Keith, for the Coke. But then it fell off my box, frothed up, and it's now all wet my leg. Right, well, I'm chuffed. That's blank done it. I don't even ever need to come here again. As a matter of fact, that's the first time I've caught a dogfish off here. I think all I've ever caught off this beach is dabs and flounder, the odd flounder. This is f***ing gassy. I don't normally drink Coke, I drink water. How about that, eh? I've used 3 baits of bluey, all come back intact. I used, and one had bluey and crab on, and then I used squid. Hold that out as far as I could and walk back with it, and then obviously reeled it in, and it was heavy. It was heavy. I thought it was weed, to be honest, but that green weed on the line was really a bit tricky. I had to walk, and I kept walking back thinking, Jesus Christ, how long's my leader? What I didn't realise was it was jamming on my main line. That was the problem. I had line all over the beach, round Keith's feet, round mine. Bloody nightmare. We got through it though. Then I tied the leader knot on it, pulled it tight, and it snapped. Not the leader knot, the line. So I chopped some line off either side and retied it, yanked it, and it was all right. So I had to tie 2 leader knots to get one that worked. And the water's coming again. Seems to be coming, unless I walked back further last time. I think I'm going to walk back quite a way just to give me a bit of respite. We've got the low lug out there now, and I've literally done an overhead throw, which was a good thing because that line got wrapped on a little bit rubbish really in all the pantomime. And before anyone says it, Keith ain't Mother Goose. Pantomime, it's not good if you have to explain it, is it? So I'm gonna walk back again. I might bait up one more on here, and I might put a squid on it again and chuck it short just in case there is any bass. But like that dogfish come at distance. I'm just chuffed. Yeah, I am chuffed that I've caught on this beach, and I've caught a species I haven't caught on this beach before. Dogfish is the first dogfish I've caught this season since we turned January. I think I caught dogfish last year. I don't think I caught many. So yeah, I'm happy. It's been a good day. It's been a nice day with Keith. Weather's been great. It's turned a bit grey now, but hopefully it won't rain. I would check the weather, but I don't get a signal there with Vodafone. And there's no dogfish on the beach. I keep checking. I am quite keen on that because I don't want to see it come to harm. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to move everything back, bait up a squid bait on that rig, and then when I bring this rig in, that'll get put away, and then I'll have to move up the beach again. So here we are. That's where we're at. It is nice in the sky, isn't it? Look, I think that looks nice. I hope you do. Well, it don't matter if you don't, does it? I'm it. That's the main thing. And those that can't get out, I hope you enjoy it. See you in a bit. Right, I'm going to reel this in. Yeah. And then we're going to get that last bait out. This feels bloody heavy and all. Perhaps the weight's catching in the sand. Bloody weed again. No bait on either. That's why I don't like bloody May rock. time for this May rock. You got to get little bits off and ping it and flick it and pull it. You know, I wouldn't chuck out again. If I hadn't have baited that up, I wouldn't chuck out. You're watching this because I've got to do it. Right, that's off. Bloody crap. Bloody worms are gone, aren't they? And they're good worms as well, they were. Six o'clock. 6 o'clock and all is well. Right. Bloody battery died, didn't it? Probably chucked that too far then. Probably chucked that too far then, but probably about 45, 50. But there you go. Tide's coming in yet again. I didn't fish as long as this last time. Last time I was there, about now, I was then pulling everything up here to then pack up. But I don't know why I didn't put my box on there. But I didn't, did I? So I'll just carry my box back. Yeah, shame about that lugworm not still being on there. All gone. See, it can explode off when you cast, but I just did another head thump. It only went out about 30 yards, if that. But there you go. That's what happens, isn't it? Let's bring this back. I would say I'm not going to leave this out for too long. I'm not going to leave it out for too long. I'm now going to put that other rig away, sort my bait out. Now them lugworms were ever so good. That Paul give me. I reckon I must be coming up to another painkiller. Yeah, they're absolutely cracking worms, and really big as well, some of them, like your middle finger. And I thought that would still be on there, or there'd be some remnants on it, but there was nothing on it. So it is what it is. The rest of them, because there must have been about another 15 or 20. I'm not going fishing again until Friday possibly, and I've got no fridge yet to stand on top of my bait freezer to keep these worms alive. Now I've got some salt water at them, so I could have, if I've got a fridge, I can take them, give them a drink each day, leave them 20 minutes or so, and then wrap them up in some fresh newspaper. And then obviously they're doing what a worm does, they're drinking some water occasionally, aren't they? Doing whatever they do with it, and you can keep them alive a long while. But I ain't got the fridge to keep them cool, and so I'm gonna have to get on with that and buy it. But yeah, I've got another update. How could I forgot to tell you that? It is hectic fishing low water. If I ever come here and I'm fishing low water up to high and over high, I always fish one rod now until I hit the beach, and then once I'm on the beach I then get the second rod out, because it's just too hectic. So yeah, so what I've done is I dug an hole in the sand, I chucked all them blow lug in the sand and filled it back up. And actually, by the time I'd done that and done everything else, I looked back and the water hadn't scooped the sand out, which is amazing. And there's no worms on the tide line, because sometimes they get washed out and they get pushed up the beach. So hopefully they're still in the sand, and there's plenty of lug there, so hopefully it'll populate. They'll get a chance. That's the sort of person I am. If I had a fridge at them though, I would have took them home. Update on the cat. You've had the update on the chicken and the chicken's mate, Gizzy. Well, my other cat, Louie, his tooth was getting longer. And then all of a sudden I come home the next day and all down his chest was drool and everything, and he couldn't shut his mouth. And the tooth had swung round. So where the incisors teeth go like this, like that, what they're biting teeth, you know, canines, it had gone that side of the tooth and had stopped there. He couldn't shut his mouth, so his mouth was open. So £350 later and back home from the vets, he's all right now. He's eating like a good one. They give him a bit of a brush and polish up as well to get the tartar off his teeth, but the vet said he's got good teeth apart from that one that was coming out. So yeah, 350 quid, but I've now got a happy Louie. And but yeah, on the way down he hadn't been in a basket much, and he defecated, that's shitted himself in my basket in the front of my van, and then urinated in the van. I kept him locked up in the kitchen, and he wanted to keep getting in the utility room, and I thought it was to get to the food, but he wanted to get to the tray, didn't he, or to the back door to go out and go to the toilet. My fault, but bless him, they cleaned him up at the vets, and we cleaned him up with some wipes and stuff as well, because you can't get it all off, and he's done the rest. So, but yeah, £350 to have a tooth pulled and a bit of clean with your tartar off his teeth. And this water's coming in again. Do you know what? I now know what Canute felt like. He must have absolutely been beside himself when he kept moving, kept sitting there on his throne, and that water come round his feet. He couldn't have been right sharp, could he? Because you'd think he'd realise that that's coming in and nothing's going to stop it. Now we've got black clouds above us. I bet you it's going to rain. So we'll get to the end of this session and we'll be wet. That's right above my head, look. Unbelievable. But the sun is out, so hopefully the sun might burn it off. But I don't think so. Rod tip's there. I'm going to move everything back again. and the rod rest, and then I'm going to start putting everything away. So I'll see you in a bit. Sorry for talking to myself. Just trying to work out when I last took my painkillers, because Keith has given me some of his. Keith's now getting in trouble with water. So it was, yeah, Keith's given me some of his. I'm on 15 milligram, 500 milligram cucudamols. Keith's got the 30 milligrams, so a bit stronger. So I've took 2 of them today, and I haven't been in too much pain up until now. It's now starting, so that's going to be a huge argument with the doctors, isn't it? Can I please have some stronger painkillers? Because when I say I'm on paracetamol and ibuprofen, they say, well, what do you want stronger than that for? And I'm thinking, have you not seen my x-ray of my hip? Surely a doctor can look at an x-ray and think, yeah, he's in a bit of pain with that, I need to give him this. Because when we went to Karen to give birth to Chelsea, my eldest daughter, yeah, when I said to the midwife, we discussed about 10s, because I was all part of it, and the midwife looked at me and said, she's a bit past the 10s machine, and she just gave her a jab into her leg of some painkiller. I would say permethrin, but I don't think it is permethrin. That might be a weed killer or something. Anyhow, whatever they jabbed her with that. Helped with the stitches afterwards as well. I don't think I should have indulged that, should I? Oh, it just comes out of my mouth, doesn't it? Anyhow, we're back here. I weren't going to fish this far up the beach, but I've just chucked out that squid bait, haven't I? And yeah, Keith is still fishing, but in a minute, when I reel this in, that is it. I'm going. So I'm going to save this battery now. Next time you see me is when I'm reeling that in. I hope, well, I ain't going to say anything else, because it ain't over yet. There's still more to go, because I rattle on when I sign off, don't I? And the wife's there going, oh, get on with it. Am I in shot? I'll tell you why I've switched the camera on after saying what I've just said. I just then sat down on my box and the sun's on me. The sky's gone blue again, that greyness has gone. It's raining over there, out to sea. Thank the Lord. And I just thought I'd bring you back. Hopefully you can see my rod tip. I hope Keith's had a good time. You know, Keith's helped me twice today. Once I got hooked up with my sleeve, yeah. Now I could have cut my top, but I couldn't pull the hook out. It needed 2 hands. And then all that weed on my line. Now I had weed on the line last time I reeled it in, so hopefully I'll have it on again, won't I? It's been a fantastic day. It's been really enjoyable. This sky is unbelievable. It is so blue and white and grey, rain. But I say, I hope Keith has enjoyed himself today. He ain't caught. I don't think it matters to Keith whether he catches or not. It's just being out. I think he's the same as me, really. But it does get panicky when that water's coming up. It's not going to come round behind me. It's just on you all the time. And I never fished this far up last. I was gone by now. In the last video, I think. Because I'm going to have to move back again. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring you back. With, you know, I expect it'd be quite nice if I weren't talking. See you in a bit. Right, let's get this reeled in. Bloody heavy, I'll tell you that. Wow, that was heavy, all right. Bloody weight must have been gripping into the sand. So that's it. I'm taking this out of the way so I can stop bloody panicking. I ain't panicking, it's just you're constantly moving. That's fishing low water. That's why, in my opinion, I took the advice of others saying just use one rod, Vern. And when I did it with 2 rods, but I only used 1, but I still had another one with me getting in my way. And I then realised, well, hang on, Vern, because when you fish low to high, you only do it with 1 rod anyhow. So it is what it is, isn't it? Let's get this right. Am I about there? In the sunshine, looking dappy, aren't I? So anyhow, I'll get Keith to wave goodbye. He'll probably not say out. Keith! He's had a nice time. Well, I hope he has anyhow. That squid's come back perfectly as I've sent it out. And very little weed on that time. So that's a good thing, isn't it? Anyhow, this has been Sandilands, and we beat the blank at this mark for me. And caught a new species for this mark for me, and caught my first dogfish this year up to now. So it's great, isn't it? I've had a bass, hound, dogfish, flounder. I've had, well, I ain't had a codlin this year yet. Is that about everything I've had? What else is there to catch? Not a lot, is there? But yeah, I ain't had a ray yet, but then the rays are gone from here now. So it's been enjoyable. That sun's been there all the time. It's gone behind the clouds a few times. It hasn't rained. It's been enjoyable. I've met Paul, had a good chat with Keith, boss Keith about, you know, it's what it is, isn't it? I tell you, if Keith weren't there, helped me with that, getting the weed with my line, I had line everywhere, it would have been an absolute nightmare. I'd have had to just evacuate the beach to sort myself out, so thanks for that, Keith. I would shout you, but you're lucky in that right air, and you wouldn't hear me anyhow. So this is it. This is Sandilands on the 27th of May. It certainly is, and it's now 6:30 at night time. So I'm going. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't blanked. Caught me first dogfish. I'm happy with that. So next time you see me, it'll be on a beach somewhere. It'll either be here on this coast or on the Holderness coast. I haven't managed to get over there yet because I keep fishing here because I like it. It's good for me, but I have got that bloody beach to climb up, which is naggering. So see you next time, and I'll see you anon. could give it a little rub if you wanted to after.
Nah, you're right, mate.
You don't want to rub it?
I've had enough of them.
I don't think. Ooh, hey.
Cool like that with it all the way.